Right? Well, hello. Oh my gosh, Jill! Hey! Hold on. Give me a sec. Sorry. I was missing a few things, and oh my gosh, there's a bunch of people! Yay! It happens often that there's kind of just me. Because you guys can hear and see, right? Yeah, I know. Hand cream and watercolor paint, not the best combo, but my hands are an absolute nightmare right now. All right. Well, hi Jill. Hi Auntie Patience. Hi Susie. It is so nice to see you guys. I'm very happy. Yay! Oh my gosh, Scott. So dramatic. So dramatic. Hey, les filles. I don't know what this paper is, so it's gonna be for swatching today. And hopefully it's not too awful. Yeah, I couldn't be there for the Caturday one. I was in a meeting with friends. That's a good reason. It is really nice to see you guys. I'm very happy. All right. So, what what I have out at the moment. This is my sort of main swatch list-ish for the Roman Schmal range. It's kind of my tracker of what I have and what I don't have. So I can super easily check if someone mentions a pigment or a color. I can reference it with this chart. So for any kind of comparison within the range, it's helpful. It's not perfect, but it's helpful. So I have that out. A couple of things, and I have a handful of pans. And they're probably gonna be my last pans that I get for a while. First of all, budget, but then also ever since the US has set up that tariff thing, even if I'm in Canada, I've been clocked for customs on everything, and it's a bit painful. So might be a while before I can, you know, try again and budget in the extra fees for the freaking customs. Ah, my cat is crazy. Very crazy. Oh my gosh. She has the zoomies. So yeah, I feel like everything that I've been ordering that came from outside of Canada, whether it's through Etsy, Jackson's, like if someone ships something out with FedEx, I know I'm gonna have to pay, that's sort of expected. But for most everything else, like when I would order stuff by regular mail through Etsy or even Jackson's, it would be that I don't think I ever paid customs on a Jackson's order before. And now, ever since the changes, it's been 3 orders out of 3 that have been clocked for it. And yeah, and something like Calero, the shimmery paints, also systematically clocked for customs. An Etsy order from Germany, customs. So yeah, I'm gonna have to chill out for a bit. I'm sad. I wish the circumstances or just the randomness of things back then would have made it so I I got the full Roman Schmal set, like all the colors. I know Otto got one full set, and I think Leanne Gold also got a full set. And I'm just like, oh, it's fine, but you know, all the pretty forbidden candies. So yeah, so I have my chart to complete, I have my colors, I have this to help open the pans, also a Sharpie to label everything, I have smudge paper, paper towels, brushes, water, tea, and you guys. So I feel like we are good to go. Ow. Thing. It's never been this bad before. I feel like every year it just gets worse and worse and worse. Now my skin is cracking like here on the side between joints for no reason. Just cracks, and then it's this, you know, it's a bit like a paper cut. It's this combo of painful and itchy. So if you're a bit too focused on something else, you might be tempted to scratch it, which is not a good idea. Right. So the colors I have, it's a weird assortment, but considering that it's there to complement my substantial stash, I don't feel like it's too weird. So I got Cadmium Red Deep. I saw that I have no cadmium colors at all from Roman Schmal, and I wanted to have at least a few so that I could see their the way they granulate or not. Those are so painful. Hello! Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Salut! Tu veux-tu montrer ta grosse face à tout le monde? Hein? Oui, non, t'es où? Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Ah, oui, je sais. Squeak, 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 squeak. Salut, dis bonjour aux amis. Hi, friends. I am a big baby cat. I am very mischievous. I want to break everything and drink all of the forbidden water. No, that's my tea. Also forbidden water. I am shedding all over Mom's painting place. Papat. I am a big potato. Look at me, I am a potato. They say hi, Scout. Hi, baby. She's purring. It's been getting colder, so she's been extra snuggly. The other one, Pico, she doesn't get cold. She's not bothered. But this one here, she gets cold really easily. So whenever it gets a bit cold, she tries to, you know, be more on us, sleep on us, get under blankets. Here goes Bestiole. Almost the exact same color as Nuru, a cat my grandparents adopted from a uni friend. He used to be a lot more mischievous, but calmed down now since my grand passed. I mean, it's a male. You have a male tortoise shell. That's a really hard word to say because they're usually female. Since my grandpa's been keeping company to my grandpa. Aww. I feel like cats make for really good companions for people who are a bit more mellow and homebodies, or just, you know, calm people. Okay, not a kitten. Kitten is pretty high energy, but assuming you get an adult cat or an older cat. Yeah, I think he's a random mix, but same color. Because that's the thing. If he is a tricolor cat, either like the calico, so the one that are mostly white with the orange and black patches, or diluted calico, so white with cream and gray patches. Or the other form of tricolor cat is the tortoiseshell, like Scout. So she's basically three colors, but the sort of dominant color is often black, and then you have this hodgepodge of orange and a bit of white, or diluted, so gray, cream, and white. But these are generally always female because of the way the coat colors are coded into the chromosomes and all of that. For a cat to manifest those three colors, they need I think that's the part that always mixes me up, but like females are XX and males are XY, I think. So for it to manifest, you need two X chromosomes, sorry. So if you have a male cat with this coat, it means he's a hermaphrodite, because he would have XXY. Yeah, and my grandpa spoils him, so he's definitely having good elder kitty retirement days with him. Grandma used to be a lot more strict. Oh no! He's spoiled! I love that. Right, so the way I like to open these, I like to carefully, but I grab a blade and I cut through the label here at the seam where they glue it together. Then I try to detach it from wrapper, and I have this here and the pan. Our Evie, Maine Coon, has suddenly started playing fetch. I use micropore tape on my watercolor paper And the little cardboard rings inside the tape. Oh, they have to be. They like those little rings from all sorts of like disposable stuff. Like you finish a roll of tape. In the middle of the rolls of poop bags, there's a little cardboard tube too that makes a good toy. I get some Caplet vitamins. Oh, poop. So no pressure. Don't worry about it. Auntie Patience, I've made you into a moderator so that you can just approve the messages that undoubtedly YouTube will hold for review. Because I don't have... cannot duplicate myself. Okay, cool. Sorry. For her to grab with her mouth, but too large for her to swallow. So I give them to her when I finish a roll. This latest one, she suddenly started bringing it to Hubs to throw it for her. Then she brings it back. Why was that censored? Seriously, it looks like someone set up some sort of AI tool where YouTube tries to decipher context in sentences, but is awful at it. And he was like, the AI thingy was like, oh, mouth, swallow, flag. Like, dude, those are just regular words. Yeah, it was. I had to approve it. I'm like, what for? It's a perfectly normal sentence. What's happening? So grateful when the little wrapper peels off well. I don't want to have to get up and put these in the freezer or something. Come on, I'm trying to to swatch colors. Okay. Alright, usually also I have a kind of a method about what I label on the pans. So there's always for frill pans, there's always a short side that has like the little plastic dot from where the pan was poured in the mold, I guess. So that's usually the side that I put the brand. Then on the other short side, I will put the color number. So here it's 324. And then it will be color name. That's cadmium red. On one long side, because some names are quite long. And on the other side is going to be pigment. There you go. That's how I try to make this work. Sometimes the little wrapper, I think it's something like wax paper, so sometimes there's a bit of a waxy residue, but it usually always wear away. That's I can't speak today. 324. Oh, that's nice. I'm curious to see the color with the drying shift because I quite like this really warm hue, but I'm not sure it will stick. So that's the first one. It is really nice, isn't it? I really like this kind of like very fire truck red, but that it's not neon. Like some reds are, it's hard to see on camera because the camera kind of boosts everything, but there are some colors that are a bit too much, even like on their own. And I feel like some reds like this, they're a bit too, I don't know what I'm saying, but I like it. That's basically what I'm trying to get at. I feel like you can find this kind of red in nature, I think is what I'm trying to say. Like some flowers will be red like that, like poppies. Oh, that's a boon. I have made a vow to not buy any more watercolor paint until I figure out how to do some stuff I want to do. But my goodness, those are also make a list. Have a list, and then you know the list is there. You know you can get the colors eventually, and as time passes, you may like um revisit your list and then see if the colors you have on it, they still talk to you, they still appeal to you. And if they do, you keep them, and if they don't, you just like cross them out. But I'm with you, it's very difficult to it's kind of difficult to stick to it. Especially, oh my gosh, you know, what with the Christmas coming and then Black Friday sales and everybody trying to have discounts here and there. And wow, look at this. I don't know if you guys will be able to see, but this pen is so yellow. What's up with that? I don't know if we can check out this comparison. Okay, I'm gonna try something wild. I know. I'm gonna start with this one because there's a bit of the paint on the pan, and usually I don't mind, but if I'm to try and clean up one of them, I might as well try and clean up all of them. You know. Black Friday sales, seriously. That's kind of it is so yellow. I don't know what happened. It could be, you know, it could be just paint. But if that's not paint, like oh my gosh, who smoked while filling this one? It's so yellow. What? That's so funny. It's not a problem, it's just funny because like how? What happened? How old is this pen? It's not it's not I'm not picking it up with just water. So I think it is paint, but probably a super staining yellow, like maybe that PY 150 pigment or something. But yeah, right. Again, Roman. So just RS. Where 325. Then bit deep. It's this one here. Yeah, the Black Friday sales are so dangerous. I gotta say though, the repetitive and custom fees are a very good deterrent for purchasing anything from outside the country. Well, there's that, but I mean, local stores will also be having sales because even if it's not our Thanksgiving, so much of everything is based on the way it's done in the US. So if you guys have some sort of big sale or big event, the stores here will probably try to have something as well. If only so that they can get customers from other countries, but then again, maybe not with the latest shenanigans. Oh, I got the Holbein watercolor pencils. Haven't opened them yet, but will soon. You got them from Jackson's, right? Jackson's UK. You can probably get them for everything Holbein. I cannot get it from Jackson's. There's some sort of trade agreement that they cannot sell to the US and Canada. So, well, I'm glad for these two new colors. I feel like I didn't have any. I mean, maybe in the other sheets, but I don't feel like I had any similar color already. So, even if they're not the colors that people will go for, cadmium colors, I'm kind of glad I got them. There is something really interesting in the texture of cadmium colors. And it's not often, I feel, brought forward with watercolor because most people, let's say, focus more on the transparent qualities of watercolor, and cadmium colors tend to be more opaque, but they are really nice and they really have a fun texture. Hold on. The second red was cadmium red deep. It is color number 325. I'm also very excited to see swatches of the watercolor pencils. Curious to see if they dilute well. Yeah, I found it funny. It's so easy to remember which day of the year is Black Friday because it's straight after the Thanksgiving and finish. Like, should I remember which day? Oh, I'm with you. I never ever remember. It's not the same day. Like, it's not like Christmas that is always the 25th. It's something like, oh, it's the second Sunday in the month of whatever. And you're like, okay. So it changes every year. And then you have, and then we have the Canadian one, which is in October. And then you have the US one, which is in November. So that's like two that I have to try and remember. And also, like, we kind of see both be really present because of the fact that we are just right next to the US. So, like, if I go onto Amazon, I'm still gonna have, like, something going on. Not that Amazon is great, but... Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry. Ooh. Oops, sorry. I'm trying out a different arm for the camera. And it's really nice, but it's also shorter than my previous one, so I cannot have it attached to the other table. Otherwise, it's a bit too short. So there's a bigger likelihood of some camera shakes. Yeah, and we have neither really, but the stores will do the US one anyway. Yeah, that's the thing. Ironic thing about Black Friday is that it started out as celebrating the day retail stores' financial situation went into the black, making profit instead of the red money. It's so depressing. It is so depressing. I mean, even without that element of backstory, it's still kind of depressing because it's all about sort of consumption and trying to like get the big wanted items on a budget because like most people are not that rich. So if you can get the thing your kid really, really, really wants, but at a price that you can actually pay for it. But yeah, like when you see people like stampede each other for a TV, it's not my jam. I see that, and I just want to chuck my own TV, like, to the curb. Although we never really use it for TV, we only use it for watching things on streaming services and games, and that's it. My dad is always like surprised when I tell him. He always forgets, and then I tell him like, Dad, we don't really watch TV. He's like, yeah, you don't watch TV. I'm like, no. What am I supposed to watch it for? That I cannot get, anywhere else now. The wonderfully dubbed in French series? Are you kidding me? They're so bad. So bad. So bad. When I was with my dad not long ago, he was like I don't know what's the word for it. You know when you go through all the channels on the TV with the remote? And yeah, so we were doing that. Oh, I'm not even in frame. Oops, sorry. And we were doing that, and he stopped on a show that was, I don't know what's the English name of the series because it was the French version, the dub with the translated title. So it must have been something like Inspector Morse or something. Yeah, channel hopping. Thank you. You won't watch TV either. Haven't paid the TV license for years. Yeah, same. I mean, whether I can get that on my phone or my computer. We have streaming services if you want to watch something, and since we pay for these specifically, we usually don't get ads in them. I'm not gonna just channel hop until I find something that I like. Like, that's just, I feel like that's mind numbing. But yeah, so we were watching this show, and it was the French dub, which is awful, awful. And we watched the whole thing, and we get to the end of it, and then I watch the credits. And as the credits go by, I spot the name of an actor that I know. And I'm like, oh, he was in there. And then I tried to catch up, like who, and then I'm like, oh, it was that guy. And I fully did not pick up on it because it was not his voice. And I felt so cheated. The actor has a really nice voice, and I was like, oh my gosh, you completely took that away from the show. How abysmal. It's so foreign for me to have adult shows dubbed. We don't do that in Finland, only kid shows. They do it here. And what's even extra on top of that is that I'm French Canadian. So yeah, we speak French, but we speak Canadian French, which is not the same at all as France French. And the thing is most of the dubs we get, they are made for France first because it's a much bigger market, and then they send those here so we can get them as well. But they sound even less natural. Like no one speaks like that. Not here anyway. So it is like extra bad. And it will totally take me out of whatever I'm watching because I just cannot get into it. I'm like, every time they speak, they say stuff that no one would say here. So it's just abysmal. So often there's like dramatic things and I'm laughing my ass off because of the way they say stuff. And yeah, and I was like, oh, I felt so cheated because, gosh, how dare you? I'm switching Cobalt Violet Light. It was fairly expensive because it's one of those cobalt pigments, but I didn't have it, and I'm like, it's a very sort of special pigment. In my head, it occupies the same kind of space that Potter's Pink do, in the sense that it's not the most versatile of color, it's a bit difficult. Like, it's weak, it's very granulating, it's not like tinting, which is weak again. But at the same time, it's such a pretty color and such a vibrant granulating color. It feels a bit like how manganese blue was that super granulating, vibrant blue. This is kind of the purple equivalent in my opinion. Yeah, I can't watch even anime with English dubs, even though I know they're decent nowadays, and even though I don't speak Japanese. Same. Uh, Also, sometimes there's a couple of things that I did though, because the voices, I think one of them was Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I think we watched the dub in English because the Japanese voices, one character's voice was unbearable. And from what I've heard, the dub for Delicious in Dungeon is also really good. But yeah, we usually just watch it like whatever it is. We usually watch it original language with subtitles, and even stuff that is in French. I often ask that we put the subtitles on anyway because I don't hear all that well, and it's very helpful to have the subtitles on. Otherwise, there's stuff I will not hear right, and I will miss part of the story. And then once you start missing part of the story, it's really hard to keep up with it. Oh, sorry. I hit the camera arm again. It's gonna require a bit of a period of adjustment, or adjustment period. Yeah. Oh, this hot tea is so good. I remember a specific case of dubbing that was. I can see why it was necessary to have a dub, but at the same time, it highlighted some flaws of trying to do that, and it's okay. So, I think most of you. I'm guessing Susie is probably the youngest between all of us here. But perhaps you remember that too. The old adventure game that LucasArts would make, where you would like, I think it's the point and click, like Monkey Island, all of that. One of those games that really vibed with me was the third Monkey Island game, Curse of Monkey Island. It's a beautiful game, and there is, you know, those games, they're about like solving puzzles and all of that. And there's a puzzle in the game. The game was made in the US, so it was made to be in English. And there is a puzzle where it's about outwitting singing pirates. So basically, you have your own boat. There's a part of the game that you go on the sea and you try to subdue an enemy boat, and when you do, you have a singing duel with the captain pirate of that ship. So basically, the pirates sing, and you choose what your character will answer, and if you choose the right thing, they will have like a little animation of them sword fighting, and you will win that part of it until you win the whole challenge. And the whole premise of this puzzle is that when you choose what you want to reply to the pirates, I think you have to choose something that will rhyme with their line. Like, they will say something, you have to answer, then you will say something, they have to answer, and there's kind of a back and forth like that. And the way you eventually win this puzzle is that you unlock the possibility to say the line that ends up with orange. Something like, we will all avoid scorbut if we eat an orange. And you befuddle them because there's no words that rhyme with orange in English. Not really. But that doesn't work the moment you dub the game. So in dubbing the game, like the version of the game that I played as a kid in French, it made no sense. You could not win it by understanding the game. You had to try everything until you landed on the one that worked, because they were not able to translate this feature of the American language, that you would have a line that you cannot make anything rhyme with it. And it was just so, like, I don't know what they could have done. I don't think there was anything they could have done, but it always stuck with me as a perfect example that, you know, um, you first of all, you could not have something like AI do that job. They would not be able to figure it out either. And then, like, it's relevant to, like, the original language is important to the whole thing in a way. But yeah, that was my story time with Eve. Something. So this is ultramarine violet, which I didn't have, and I was like, oh, okay. A bit unlike me to not have this one, because I quite like this soft granulating violet. And it's usually not that expensive, you know. But yeah, so many things, like all the Disney movies that I would watch as a kid, we would watch the French dubs. And oh my good grief, the the things that I only caught on, like, as an adult later, when I was able to put in context the original dialogue and what we had, and I was like, I see what they tried to do, or what they couldn't do, and yikes. Okay, perhaps you get the star for effort, but yikes. Yeah, that's fair. I tend to have the AI generated subs on YouTube too, just because it makes it easier to follow. You are a braver person than I am. I would never be able to deal with those AI auto dub. Like, ugh. That's so funny. It just goes to show that you need someone fluent to translate, and then you need someone that's perhaps clever enough to flag that you will not be able to translate the solution of the puzzle. So perhaps someone out there needs to come up with another way to solve the puzzle that will work in other languages. You know. Sigh, RS Painter on Sally Jackson's. I had to look up the name for the 219 blue. You can ask me instead of checking. And they will be on sale again. Do not worry. Also, I gotta remind you that these looks perhaps a bit more vibrant on camera than they do on in real life. Yeah, but I mean, you can ask me. I will accept the distraction. I'm just rambling nonsense. You need to sort of rework the puzzle a bit, not just, yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It would make no sense. you can win that puzzle even knowing how to solve it. There was no way. Like, anyway, such a pretty game though. I'm still, like, years and years and decades later, and I'm still obsessed with the look of that game. Not me, with 3 of the RS small teens empty currently in my Jackson's cart. Oh no. But I mean, if you have the budget, if you are not under any self-imposed no buy, like, if you can get them and feel okay with that, it is the time to get them, because they're on sale. Like, why buy something full price when you can buy it on sale? So this one, I was really curious about this one. It is the ultramarine green shade. And from limited personal experience, the difference between regular ultramarine and the green shade is often negligible. Like, you don't really see a difference, but I was curious. I feel like Roman is very savvy with his choices of colors and pigments. And I was like, worst case scenario, you have a different ultramarine that you will probably also like. So why not? Monkey Island, I didn't play really, but Day of the Tentacle, The Dig, and Indiana Jones, The Fate of Atlantis, with my dad, obviously, because I was a wee baby. Yeah. I played the third Monkey Island a lot. Then Grim Fandango. I didn't have many of these games, but my best friend at the time, her parents, they would get all of these as they came out. So I played quite a few of these at her place. The only ones the only one we ended up buying was the Monkey Island one, and then I got Grim Fandango when it came out. But so Grim Fandango is same kind of game, but it's set in sort of Day of the Dead kind of lore and territory. And it was all 3D, and it was really, really cool. And I got pretty far ahead into it. I was at the end of the game, but my copy of the game was borked. It would always fail at the same point in the story, so I never saw the ending of it. I've always made it like almost to the end, but then I think like the CD was faulty, like the CD-ROM was faulty, and it would just like crash, and could never progress beyond that point. And I know that ever since then it has come out in like digital form, and I've probably bought it on like Steam or Good Old Games or whatever, but I never really had the time to play it again, so I never saw the ending. It was really cool. It was such a fun game. And it's not buying more paint, is it? In fact, something to put paints in so I can use them. Therefore, this supports my goal. Yes, yes, absolutely. No, it makes sense. I mean, you need the containers to hold the paints, right? One of the Monkey Island games had this long chain puzzle that took us forever to solve because we couldn't figure out how to get the wooden nickel to start the chain. Oh my gosh. And we reference this wooden nickel anytime any of us are feeling overwhelmed and can't decide where to start something. That's amazing. That's awesome. In Grim Fandango, so you play a skeleton. Your name is Manny Calavera, and if I remember right, so it's been a while, but basically you have to work until you can get to the afterlife, and your job is to sell travel packages to people who can go to the afterlife, and you have all sorts of different traveling packages depending on how good of a life you led. And yeah, so basically every character in there is a skeleton, and the way they kill the skeleton in there is that they shoot them with darts full of fertilizer. So the skeletons, they start sprouting flowers, and I was like, that's so clever. So you can keep this sort of tension that you can die, and it's presented as a very like noir kind of detective story. But yeah, so you have this tension that you can die possibly even though you're already dead, you know. Ah, good games. The ultramarine green shade is really pretty. It is. I'm eager for it to dry so that I can sort of really compare. I can see why it is ultramarine blue green shade, but again, it's a really subtle kind of color distinction. You have the French ultramarine here, and then this is ultramarine light. And it kind of feels like this one, they're a bit more like purple, especially when you compare them, but I feel like if you gave someone a palette with one of these three, it wouldn't make that much of a difference if you only pick one. The wooden nickel. I think that in the third Monkey Island, you eventually find a wooden nickel somewhere, and I don't think you can use it for anything. But it's like a nod to probably the puzzle you're referring to. I haven't played any of the other games of any of the other Monkey Island game because I was always so enthralled by the visual of the third one that it was really difficult then to get into the look and the way the game works for the previous two games. And then when they eventually made Monkey Island 4, it was in 3D. And I was just so bummed about that I decided to do a hipster and to just snob the game. For no good reason, actually, just out of spite, I guess. Yellow green, yellow shade. Oh, this is gonna be so satisfying. It's gonna complete the greens. All the Roman small greens. Oh my gosh. Are we ready? Are we mentally ready? Not a very easy to use color. It's so bright and unnatural looking. But I like it for mixes, and I always feel like it's sort of one of those basic colors that at some point you have to put in your palette. If only so you can mix other things. In terms of like look and beauty factor, I feel like all the other greens are more beautiful. Even the obnoxiously bright ones like permanent green light, this sap green, I feel is just so chic. It is super saturated and vibrant, but is not like artificial looking. The green? The green is the phthalo green yellow shade. It is PG 36. It is funny, right? How you have phthalo blue green shade and phthalo blue red shade, and they're both the same base pigment, PB15. And then you have phthalo green yellow shade and phthalo green blue shade, but they're two completely different pigments. My bingo is almost complete for this sheet. I'm only missing 3 colors. No idea when I'll be able to fill it up, but one day, perhaps. Maybe if the economy settles a bit. And then I have 1 color left. I want all of them, but I'm already incredibly grateful that a lot of them were given to me. By Roman Schmal, by Jackson's, when they get promo sets and all that. So for that, I am, like, there's no word for the gratitude I'm feeling for that. Because there's no way I could have, like, bought all of that. But I'm also eager to slowly complete the range. This one is 124, so it's gonna be here. And I'm gonna lower this a bit so that we can have this beautiful color in frame, because it is the best color, it is the most beautiful color, and yeah, it is their Queen Gold. Doesn't look quite right on camera, but oh my gosh, it is so pretty. Okay, so I'm glad this one has a really long name. Cypress Raw Umber Brownish. It is PBR 7. How do they do that and it still be single pigment? Where did the shade bits come from if they're not pigment as well? Which one? Which color? You mean the phthalo blue and phthalo green? Well, I mean, phthalo green, they're separate pigments, so there's that. I think for the phthalo blue, it's gotta be something in the way they process the pigment, like perhaps something in the temperature that they have the reaction happen to, or some variation in the components that don't necessarily make it a very different result, but still produce this difference in color. We don't really have our resident chemist, but yeah, it's all chemistry, and it's probably dependent on the temperature at which the reaction happens. Oh, okay. Not mad. Good. Seems to be a good raw umber. My worry when getting any of the earth colors is that it's gonna end up being too similar to another color that I have. And yeah, the name is different, sometimes the pigment coat is different, but when you look at the paint, it's quite similar, but I feel like this one brings something that I didn't have in this palette before. I think some people are probably gonna say that it's like baby poop green. I wouldn't know, but it would track with what I've heard from parents. But yeah, that's just a matter of context, right? I'm not very close to a bingo on this one. The first sheet is the one that I have the least bingo progress on. There's a lot of colors missing here. And then it's this one, and then it's the other one. For the subsequent releases, I was either able to get all the colors on my own, or eventually, or I mean, someone sent me the new colors. I believe the term is baby poop brown. Oh, sorry. Did I say green? I meant brown, but yeah. So this is full and this is full, and I have a bit of space for possibly new colors eventually. Hope so. Done. Now I will have to let these dry, but then I will plop them in my box of pans. I'm so sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm tired. We had the daylight time skip change thingamajig, and it's always a trip. I like the way you put vellum over these charts. It is very helpful. I was looking for a way to have the information on my charts, but not have the area for paint be too small. And that's what I came up with, because since it can be tracing paper too. Like I feel like tracing paper is it's a bit thinner, but it's also much easier to find. And I like it because it allows me to see through the paper, so that I can have an idea of, like when I look at this, I have an idea of the color, and then if I really want to see the color itself, I just feel this, and then I can easily put it down to reference the pigment composition. And it's been working well. It doesn't take more space, it doesn't take away from the area I have for painting, and it's just overall very efficient. I have a few more of the aquafine colors, and I am tempted to perhaps do a few swatches of the sort of primary triad of these colors. That's the one I'm looking for. Now, the lemon yellow was not available as a pan. Meow. I have a cat. I have a cat. I didn't hear my cat. My cat came in and settled down and didn't say a thing. I'm here for all this watching. That's good. That's good. I'm gonna grab the magenta. I'm gonna grab the phthalo blue. Then I'm gonna have to think of what to do for the yellow, because that one is not a pan, it is a tube. I mean, I could put it in a pan, I guess that would be the sort of clever way to do this, but okay. Whew. Sorry. I'm going to have to drag myself away now. Thank you for showing these lovely colors. Oh, thank you so much for being here, Auntie Patience. I hope you have a good evening. So far so good. Just need a palette for mixing. This one. Alright, so the colors. That's the phthalo blue. I am so surprised by these colors. They're so surprisingly nice, considering. Like, these are student grade, they're quite inexpensive. They're all the tubes are the same price, all the sets of pans are the same price. Like, when you buy pans, you get two in one package, like, and it's basically like $2 a pan and something like $3-4 for one tube. And the tubes are, I think they're a bit like Cutman size. How many ml is that? Also, these are all made in the UK, which is not something that Cutman can boast. So 8 milliliters, like Cutman. Oops. So they're kind of the best, like the better Cutman, truly. To something. Just have to remember to dig it up later. It doesn't stay there forever. Yeah, I'm enjoying them as well too. I had a good impression of them from their travel set, but this is sort of extra. They're really, really, really nice. When you consider like everything. Perhaps their only flaw is that they're a bit difficult to find. I know that Jackson's has them, but I don't think they have all of the full range. I remember right, they don't have the metallics, and when I looked, there were a few colors that I wanted that they didn't have, like the ultramarine pink and that kind of stuff. That's not too bad as a starting point. Of course, with a cyan, magenta, yellow kind of mix, the orange is oftentimes the one that's a little bit less vibrant between all the mixes because of the way the yellow can super easily be just a little bit too green, and that takes away a lot of the vibrancy of any orange mix. But basically, this is the kind of result that I would expect. Super tinting strength from the phthalo blue. How are these still made in the UK but not Cutman? I don't get it. Also, the Cutman range, they don't have any kind of unusual or special pigments. They don't have anything like rare or whatnot. It's just that, you know, that's what I was watching in my Saturday live stream, the last one. Like how the orange was P071 and they had PB16 in there, and the ultramarine pink, and all of these colors, like they're nothing particularly mind-blowing, but they're super nice, super fun colors, great pigments, and you don't always get these in irregular ranges. Instead of PB16, a lot of range will offer you a mix of phthalo blue and phthalo green. And ultramarine pink is very often a different pigment altogether. Instead of PR259, it's just like PV19 or PV15. I think I'm gonna eventually set up a video, and I think I'm gonna set up, because it's a limited range, so I think that's doable, but I will set up a sheets of the Aquafine colors, and I think one column is gonna be like the identification of the color, pigment, all of that, and then one column will be a swatch of the pan if I have it, and then a swatch of the tube if I have it. Because what we found out in the last stream is that these are not all the same all the time, which is really weird. Okay. There they are. So that was the test with some gold in them. They're really cool. I hope I can get the silver one too eventually. But yeah, so the PV16, that must have been the paper, but there's a weird texture happening with the... Oh no, wait, that's Roman schmall. That's not even Aquafine. So here you have from the tube, so it's possibly a lot deeper because it was fresh paint. And then this is from the pan, quite similar, but a bit lighter. Then the PO71 was very similar. The ultramarine pink was strikingly different. From the tube, it looks a bit like if you mixed ultramarine violet and ultramarine pink. And then the pan was sort of the expected hue for that color. And then with the ultramarine violet, they were fairly similar, but the pan is like very, very smooth. There's not that ultramarine texture to it. And I would not have expected that, to be honest. Like I got the two ultramarine pink tube and pan because of the fact that I like this color and you don't get to find this pigment on its own often. And then I was swatching it and I was like, oh, this is weird. It's not the same. The raw umber is pretty similar, and then I have a few colors that I didn't have any sort of comparison element for, but I got the sap green because it has PB29 in it, and I wanted to see if it would have some sort of texture to it. And it does have a really subtle texture when you dilute it a lot. And all that kind of stuff. So I was able to grab a few more, and I will compile sort of a comparison sheet. Even if it's not complete, I think it might be interesting to see. I want to see it, so I feel like if I want to see it, there's a possibility that other people might enjoy seeing it as well. But yeah, that's my plan. but I have quite a few things on my to-do list and like not enough time to do everything. And the ultimate test is to mix everything together and see if you can get a neutral color. It is a pet peeve of mine that a lot of people, when they refer to neutral color, they mean all kinds of browns and colors like that, and I'm like, that's not neutral. Brown is not a neutral color, it is a muted sort of orange. And yeah, I don't feel like it should be labeled in the same way. Very difficult to adjust the balance of 3 colors when one is fresh from the tube and the other 2 are pans. They don't have the same strength at all. It's a bit green still, but it's close. It's not perfect, it's still very brownish, but I know there's I know for sure you can get sort of a gray when mixing a cyan, magenta, and yellow. The trick is just to fiddle with it long enough to get the right balance. I feel like that's quite nice. And there's probably a way to get sort of a split primary too. Because there's ultramarine colors in this range. And the reds, and there's warm yellow, like the engine yellow here is really nice. The cadmium yellow hue is also really nice. And this one is perhaps a bit more neutral-ish, so it could be interesting to have in substitution of this yellow here. Perhaps you would end up with oranges that are a bit more vibrant. So that's also something. And yeah, overall, a really surprising range. I'm definitely looking forward to swatching more of the colors and to see what, how they compare, how they deal. And I really feel like they are usable for professional paints. I did these swatches. First of all, I really don't like this watercolor paper. It's the first time trying it. It's the Van Gogh black watercolor paper, but it's stripy. You can kind of see it, like the way the paint settled in it. And it's like that on both sides. It's stripy. I don't like that. But yeah, so perhaps the colors from Aquafine are a bit more opaque generally than the colors from other ranges possibly, but I don't think it's all that much of a problem if you don't paint on black paper, really. If you paint on regular white paper and you paint really thickly and you paint over line work, perhaps so sorry, but otherwise I feel like these are a blast. I keep saying this, but when I started painting, I had the crappiest, cheapest student paints that were available because I had no idea what I was doing, and the offerings were very limited, and my budget was also very limited. Like I was a young teen, so I got this set of I don't even remember. I think it might have been 18 colors or 12. And they were not very good, but I had fun painting with them anyway. But then I think, like, if I had access to these, how much my experience would have been, how different it would have been. Because the set I had, like, it didn't have a pink, it didn't have a bunch of colors that were not there, and it was just overall very mid paint. And I feel like these, they're above that, and they at least let you be a whole lot more creative with what you can and cannot do with these paints. Like this Indian yellow hue is PY153. Is the pigment that is technically discontinued, that used to be Daniel Smith's new gamboge color. It's really beautiful warm yellow. So I don't feel like we need more of this. And they're affordable, that's the main thing. Like Roman Schmal was the sort of new and affordable paint. Before that it was White Knights. Both of these are professional paints. Equifine are not professional paints, but I feel like you could probably use them for professional artwork and it would still turn out okay. There's really nothing in here to, let me think, that these wouldn't do well. I'm gonna, oh, is my UV light still somewhat working? I wonder if, well, there's nothing reactive in the magenta. I would do this test with the finished swatch of my comparison stuff anyway, but they don't seem to have been like tweaked with optical brighteners. I started with Cutman and almost quit watercolor because they were so weak and bad. Early 2000s, moved up to some Grumbacher Academy and Equifine. Absolutely. Grumbacher Academy, they packed a punch, these colors. And the Aquafine are so much better too. You can find a handful of colors from Cutman that are fine, serviceable. But the thing is that these colors are never included in their like pocket sketchbook sketch set. And when I first started, I had the Pentel ones, the terrible ones. Then at some point I was like, okay, I like to paint, so I'm gonna get a slightly better set, and I got the Cutman Pocket set. But the thing is, in that set, you would have like white, black, 2 yellows, 2 reds, 2 blues. There's stupid sap green that I really don't like. And then 3 earth tones. And I don't think any of these are the quote-unquote most serviceable Cutman paints out there. The white is relatively useless, so ditch that. Like the 2 blue they gave you, I think they're quite similar. They give you like the alizarin crimson hue and the cadmium red hue, which are interesting, but a magenta would have been so much more helpful. And like some of their colors, their dioxazine purple Cutman color is decent, but it's not in this starter set. Their phthalo blue color is also decent, not in there. Permanent rose, not in there. Their sap green is disgusting. And it's in all their freaking set, and I hate it so much. It is so bad. It is, goopy. Ugh. You feel like you're painting with colored glycerin instead of actual paint. Like it has this weird greasy look to it that is just so unpleasant. So yeah, I painted with that set too, but I feel like once you get past the level of this is new, like past the novelty point, it's not a set that has enough to help you go further. Like you reach a point where what the set has to offer is not enough, and at that point either life always gets in the way, but at that sort of fragile point in your interest in painting, depending on what the circumstances are, if the paints are not sort of good enough, I feel like it's really conducive to stopping it altogether. You're gonna be like, oh, I have other things to do, and I feel like I did everything that I could do with this, and you don't necessarily think that there's more to it than that stupid set. Completely agree regarding their color selection in their sets. They're so bad. They have so many good colors and they never put them in anything. I'm so mad. Ah, I'm gonna go barge down, like kick down the door at Winsor & Newton, and I'm gonna be like, okay, that's enough. I make the sets now. Remove that Chinese white. No one wants Chinese white. It's useless. They try, they have their, granulating set and all of that, but can you believe they made like a granulating selection of tubes, and they didn't even put their unique granulating yellow in there? I'm just like, okay, you really have no idea what you have. Like, you don't know. Like the Daniel Smith guy doesn't know, but still will push everything he can. Winsor & Newton, they don't know, so they just keep doing the same thing. And then other brands know what they have and they know how they can sell it, and that's the brands that we hear about, like Romanschmal. My primary school teacher got me off loving watercolors for years. Oh, that's depressing. We had an assignment to paint something to a winter poem, so I painted a garden with like frozen flowers and trees without leaves. He stopped behind me, took a brush full of dark blue, and stamped it on my trees. Trees should have leaves. Oh my gosh. Oh, she needed therapy. Good grief. What the heck? So bad. Ditto with Minka and their same basic 812. Oh, seriously. They're particularly egregious with that when it comes to the Academy paints. Because if you want to get more than one special tin, it always comes with the same 12 colors. So you have like a bajillion, like a stash of a bajillion dupes or copies. And then all the super interesting colors in the Academy range are never in there. Like their indigo is never in there. They have the orange is never in there. It's just like bunkers. Alternate, do something. You know? Oh, absolutely. She was going through a divorce and stuff and absolutely unhinged. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's bad. Always with the ultramarine finest and that, yeah, that May green that they put in everything. Oh my gosh. Art teachers. Oh my god. I mostly went through all the science route when I was in high school. Because, you know, they would always tell you, but it opens doors, it opens doors. Take chemistry, it opens doors. Do not go in plastic arts, it does not open doors. I'm like, okay, whatever. It's not like I know any better, like I'm a stupid teen. But, yeah, and the 1 year I was able to take art and not music. Oh, finally get rid of music. Okay, yeah, so, 3rd year high school, we finally could choose between some sort of artistic class. You had like drawing, like plastic arts, we call them. There was theater, music, or more like a techie kind of class. And that's the 1 year I was able to have like a drawing, and it was so fun. And the teacher was so fun too. It was this older dude, super duper chill. Basically, he would just like come in, take the stuff out, and we could just do whatever. And it was so fun. It was probably the one best class of all of high school that I had. The first 2 years of high school, music classes were mandatory, And as someone who is absolutely illiterate in music, it was nightmarish. It was probably the class that I hated the most. I love music. I love listening to music and all of that. But being forced to play an instrument and to be able to read sheet music and to then have exams on that, that was nightmarish. And that was the whole primary school and then the years of high school. And then after that, after the year where I was able to pick art finally, then you had all the science classes and options, and that's what I sort of had to take. All the high level biology, chemistry, physics. Chemistry, the class was okay, but I remember nothing of it. Physics, the class was abysmal, and I wanted to yeet that teacher into the sun. And then biology was fine. I liked biology. I mean, biology, at least it's interesting. It's how your body works. Like, you learn stuff about how your body works. So at least there's that sort of interesting factor to it. Like, what does a cell do? Like, what happens when this or that? And how eyesight works and all that stuff. So that's cool. But yeah, the physics teacher was trying to teach in a different way, and he would basically try to get us to learn the stuff on our own. And yeah, I was not in physics to do that. I was in physics because someone told me to take that class. So I needed a bit more guidance than that. And also, I don't know about you guys, but classes were selected at random. Like, the students, there were usually like a bunch of classes, and it was split a bit randomly. So there were some classes where none of your friends were in it. And that was one of them, the physics class. None of my friends were in it. And we had to group up in teams of 4. And I was alone, and there was a group of 3 guys, and I had to team up with them. And they were kind of a bit of a jockey kind of guys. And one of them, one day he turned to me and he was like, I think that people with red hair, it's really nasty. I really don't like it. And I have red hair, and I was just like, okay, what do you want me to do with that info? Like, okay, dude, that's fair. I mean, whatever. Can we just try to figure this out? And that the teacher is not helping. And yeah, worst class ever. That guy, I mean, unless he was shopping for a punch in the face, I don't know what he was doing. I'm rambling so much. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was so weird and random. I don't know what his issue was. I'm not a very threatening person on any account, on any level. Like, I'm not and never was particularly like I don't know, flirty. I'm not a pretty person in any way. I'm a very normal person. Very, very, very average, you know? And I was with these guys because there was really no other options. I really don't know why he turned around and said that. Also, it's my hair color. I could dye it, but why? Also, why are you telling me this? Why is that relevant to anything? Like, are you okay? Do you need help? Blink twice. Almost like a random guy who used to be on the same class with me sent me a text in the middle of the day. Please stop walking like you do. It's embarrassing. That. What? What the fuck? That's so messed up. What does he think? Who did what? How to fail a vibe check. Oh my god. Oh, that's so bad. What? No. See, back when I was in school, I don't think text existed yet, so pagers were barely a thing. So at least I got saved that part of the whole thing. But oh my gosh, can you imagine? It's so many red flags. So all of the red flags actually. Like no. What the heck? Also, stop walking like you do. What? How were you walking? I'm pretty sure you were not doing anything special. What the? What? Adam, like, have him meet up with the teacher for therapy or something. These two, they need to sort themselves out a little bit. Yeah, like, please tell me the train of thought that got you to send that text. Or do I really want to know? I'm laughing because it is surreal. It's not funny on its own. Like, I'm not making fun. Like, that must have been really freaking weird to get that message, but where does it come from, that guy? Oh, I still have my mouse. To this day, I don't know. I mean, I have a wide hip. You know that's it. Like, you know that the dude is still not over his crush on you, and he's just trying to. I don't know what he's trying to do. Who knows? When the stupid boys say stuff like that to me in high school and college, I hit them with my heavy textbook. I rolled them like it. Do you have a spray bottle as well? Why do you carry a spray bottle in your backpack? My flabbers are gasted. I cannot. It's. That's supposed to be Prussian blue. It is PB27, but it is very, very vibrant. I imagine, yeah, 20 years later, it still gives him nightmares. I didn't have cats yet, or I probably would have carried a spray bottle. uh, yeah, that kind of behavior, like as you get older, like I remember, like I had weird interactions with people in school when I was in high school, and I was just mortified. Like my only defense was to try to walk faster and get out of there ASAP. Nowadays, if I was in a similar situation, I don't think there would be a way to prevent me from yelling at people. I'm just too old and I don't care. Ugh, I swear. Unbelievable. This is a really nice pink color. I really like it. Such a good hue. Like very, very diluted. You can do blush. You can do like like how I like to do a little bit of pink on the ears of cats, or their nose, or their paws, depending on their coloring. And I feel this is a really good hue to be able to do that without having to tweak it a lot. You just need to dilute it, make it a really light wash, just give that little layer of pink. And then you let it dry, and then you paint over it. Really, really nice. I have no idea how the kids nowadays, it's been a few years, but in between the time that I was in school and that the kids are now in school, like, cell phones were not a thing when I was in high school, and now they're ubiquitous. So I wouldn't want to be in high school now. I don't know how the kids deal with it. It doesn't look conducive to having a great time, if you know what I mean. So this one is the purple color, Purple Lake. Is PV19. What a nice, like, muted PV19. And then I'm gonna try this one too, and I think this one is Quinacridone Magenta PR122. Yeah, I was at least pre-social media. I don't even want to know. Oh, with TikTok, and I'm so glad I went to school before cell phones. And it's the same. Oh my gosh. It looks very disruptive in a way. These are really nice. I mean, those, they offer two magentas. You have this more pinkish one, and then this slightly more bluish one. All within their sort of limited aquafine range. So I get to see that through the kiddos' eyes in the years to come. Yeah. Personally, I will only get like very removed experience of it through my nieces, I guess. But one of them is like is like barely 18 months, and the other is like 5. So there's still some way to go before that happens. And who knows? Yeah, that magenta on the bottom, isn't it kind of super uh striking? Like, from a student grade paints. I mean, they say it's student grade, but seriously, I've yet to try one of their colors that is not perfectly fine and usable. And many of them are like single pigments. So I really don't... like, what's up? That's the thing that I mentioned on Saturday that I thought was particularly stupid, though, is that the paints are made in the UK for the pans, but this is assembled in the Dominican Republic. So they take the paints, they ship them all the way out to the Dominican Republic, where they assemble, quote unquote, this, and then what? They ship it all the way back to England? How is that more cost efficient than having it assembled on location? I don't get it. Or perhaps since these are for USA only, maybe then, like, they go from the Dominican Republic to the US? Maybe? Because otherwise, this is really silly. Wouldn't it be great if we weren't surprised by usable... You might be right. What? This is not chalky and disgusting like the Sakura Koi paints? What? Oh, I'm pretty sure I have nightmares about Cotman's sap green. Not that the professional version of their permanent sap green any better, but oh my gosh, I loathe that paint with a passion. I like the hue of it, but everything else, the texture, the feel, the way it is so weak. Hate it. Hate it. It is dreadful. Do I want to try? I have this. I'm gonna try this one. Curious about it. It is their portrait pink. So it's obviously a mix. It is a bit like a sort of a Naples yellow reddish kind of color. I guess they are aiming to make this sort of a Caucasian kind of skin tone, or perhaps a base color for skin tones. It's quite opaque. It's a mix of three potentially opaque pigments. So we have PW6, PR101, and PY42. In terms of a mix, like I like this idea. I like these components in the mix. It is indeed very opaque. Also quite muted. But I think it is nice. Diluted, I'm kind of really liking this range of dilution. I feel like that's sort of serviceable. You could have it for some buildings, some perhaps sand, like every living creature that has lighter skin, like animals that have pinkish skin, humans. It has a bit of that pottery feel to it. Not on camera. On camera, it looks kind of really bright, but it's more muted in person, and it will probably dry a bit more muted as well, because these are usually pigments that have a significant drying shift. I started with some Finnish-made semi-gouache. We call them covering colors, something between a gouache and watercolor, as a kiddo, that my grandpa would buy for us. Is it the big, like, discs? Big pucks? When I eventually got myself back into it around 15 years ago, I bought some of those again, then a Cutman and a White Knight set. White Knights is very decent. It's fairly usable. Oh, they have some. I think I'm gonna mention it in a coming video, but they released shimmery paints, White Knights, and they look really interesting. And those metamorphose colors are still like really appealing. They're so nice. Why do you have to come from Russia? I disapprove. This one is Van Dyke Brown. Let's swatch a last one. I keep saying that. I like switching colors. Also, I need to stop talking for a bit. Not a single pigment Van Dyke Brown, but it's quite nice. It seems to be quite transparent. What's in it? PBR7 and a PBK7. So brown and black. Fair, fair. Right, so I think I'm gonna call it here for today. thank you so much, guys, for being here and tagging along with the swatches. Was a lot of fun to have people to chat to while I while I work. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. I should be streaming on Saturday again. I gave away most of mine, a few pens left. Nowadays it's a mixed collection of handmade ones. I think DS. A good hodgepodge. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for hanging out. It was a lot of fun. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And we will see each other in a next video. And until then, take care. Bye bye.